Hey y'all, it's Ashley Bookish Room and I'm back with another video, and this is super late. This is going up on a Wednesday. Should have gone up on a Sunday or a Monday. Not particularly my fault. I mean, technically yes, it is my fault, but life. So I'm here with my weekly wrap up, and I'm not going to banter anymore. Let's just go ahead and get started. Alright y'all, so like I said, I'm here for my weekly wrap up. I'm moving back to weekly wrap ups. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do this. Once again, I am 39 weeks pregnant now. 39 plus 2 by the time that this goes up. So we are very close to due date. But I want to go back to the style of doing weekly wrap ups because I've been reading a lot, listening to a lot. And with that being said, that inevitably puts me in a situation where when I do like mid-month wrap-ups and stuff like that, they end up being excessively long, and I just don't want to do that. So I'm going to do a weekly wrap-up, and I'm going to talk briefly about the things that I read this past week. I did read some picture books, but I've decided that I am not going to go into depth about those because I read so much of those in 1 week. I got to figure out something else strategically to do with those besides read the picture books, because it's going to drive me crazy to have to deal with that every single time I do a weekly wrap up. So I read 4 things. 2 of them are novels and 2 of them are graphic works. So let's go ahead and jump right in. The first thing that I read was Phantom Evil by Heather Graham. This is the first book in her Crew Hunter series. This book specifically focuses on a group of individuals who are sent to Louisiana to investigate the death of a senator's wife. She appears to have jumped over the balcony or been pushed over the balcony, and no one really knows why, but this group of individuals has been organized together because there seems to be some paranormal aspects that fit into it. What I did like about this book is that it fits within the frame of like paranormal and mystery, just a regular mystery at the same time. So it has paranormal elements and just, you know, bad people, which I think is pretty darn interesting, that we see a combination of spirits and people who are not doing things that are so great. I ended up giving this one 3 out of 5 stars because of the fact that there's a romance that takes place in this book, and the romance was just unwarranted. Like, the 2 characters knew each other for about 2 days and then they were kind of cutting loose, and it just, not saying that it couldn't happen, I'm not going to say that, but it's a simple fact that they were doing this and they didn't really even seem like they had much chemistry. It was random, let's put it that way. It was such a random hookup that I was like, I don't even think that was needed. I don't even think it was important to the story at all. So I couldn't give it I would have given it 4 stars had it not been for that romantic element. Or if the romance had been done better, but it wasn't. So I ended up giving it 3 out of 5 stars. I did enjoy it though. It was so fast paced and it was so good. I finished it in like a week, or not even a week, in a few days, because this is a weekly wrap up. So I finished it in a few days, and it was so good that I ended up checking out the second one from my library on my Kindle. So I'll be reading that one probably either this upcoming week or sometime this month, even though it's not on my TBR. But it's so good. Like, how could you not want to? They're really good. So if you're looking for a paranormal mystery series, I guess I would say check this one out. It's weird. It's like, it's mystery, but it has paranormal elements to it. But I did enjoy it, and I will be continuing with the series. The next thing that I read this past week was Food Wars Volume 3, Shokugeki no Soma by Yuto Tsukuda. This again is part of my reread for the Food War series, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. This is the story arc where the characters end up going to the culinary camp. So we start off in Food Wars where Soma is getting he's interested, well, he's not really interested in the school. He gets sent to the school by his dad because his dad wants him to become a better chef. We see him take his entrance exam, see some conflict that he has with some other students. We see him get into the Polaris dormitory. And then after he gets into the Polaris dormitory, there's an announcement that all the students have to go to this culinary camp. And what's so intense about it is that a whole bunch of these kids go to this camp, but only a small percentage of them return. And they have these super, super intense challenges that they have to face. Like the first one, I think Soma and Megumi, who's on the front, had to cook a beef bolognese, I believe is what they were making, and it had to be extremely perfect. Another challenge, I think they had to like fish out some ingredients. I can't remember. Like it was with one of the graduates, and I think they had to cook with whatever was in the surrounding woods and river. And that was the challenge. So it was super, super crazy. And this one, I won't go into too much of what this one explores and the challenge that they face and what happens as a result, because it's a direct spoiler for the next volume. But I did really, really enjoy this. Of course, no surprise, because I've already read it, and I ended up giving it 5 out of 5 stars. The next thing that I read this week is the third book in the Wings of Fire series. This was on my TBR, and it is The Hidden Kingdom, and I won't go into much about this either because of the third book in the series, but I just would let you know that these books they've gotten better that quickly. Like I gave the first 2 3 stars, but I'm giving this one 4 stars because it was just so good. I couldn't put it down. I finished it in 2 days, and we are following a different dragon. So each book is from the perspective of a different dragon. And this one we follow Glory, and she is a rain wing. And what's interesting about Glory, this is not a huge spoiler or anything, is that with the prophecy, it was supposed to be a sky wing who fulfilled the prophecy. So if you guys don't have a basic understanding of the Wings of Fire series, it is about 5 dragonettes who are born, who are supposed to stop the war that's going on between all of the different the different dragon kingdoms. So in the prophecy, it's supposed to be a mud wing, a sand wing, a night wing, a sea wing, and a sky wing. Unfortunately, when they went to go collect the eggs, the sky wing ended up dying, so then they got a rain wing to replace them. So Glory ends up being the rain wing, and she's not really liked by the individuals that are training the dragonettes, and they like often bully her and stuff. And this is kind of like her finding I want to say appreciation for herself, but really appreciation for herself and for her tribe, because her tribe has the reputation of being like super, super lazy dragons, but she doesn't really give into that stereotype, which I was very proud of her for not doing. Like she finds a way to break that stereotype. There's a lot of twists and turns in this that I did not see coming. Like people involved in situations where I was like, I had no idea that that was even happening or that was even a thing. And I'm really interested to see who they're going to pick as a queen, because the whole battle is over the sand wings. So there's three daughters who are descendant from a queen, and the whole war is occurring because they don't know who to choose as queen. So they've basically all started pairing off and creating alliances and all types of things. Like I believe the ice wings are paired with one of the, so each tribe itself is paired with one of the queens, or the queens have attempted to create this type of alliance with certain kingdoms, and they're all at war. And the war is gruesome, y'all. Like these books are not, I would say upper middle grade, because these books are not shy from a little bit of violence and a little bit of gore. Not like heavy violence or anything, but I definitely would recommend this for the upper end of middle grade. But I did end up giving this one, like I said, 4 out of 5 stars, and I already have the 4th one checked out. I just checked it out today from the library. So I'll be reading that probably tonight when I should be focusing on my TBR. And the last thing that I read this week was Superman Action Comics Volume 1 Path of Doom. This is the next one that I had to read in order of what I'm trying to do with reading the DC Rebirth comics. And this was a quick read. I read this in like an hour. This one is interesting because it kind of makes reference back to the Superman from New 52. So the Superman who's in this one and the Superman who is in New 52 are not the same individuals, and it's like, and deals with like Flashpoint and stuff like that. So if you are interested in reading this stuff, I would do a little bit of background research if you're starting with Rebirth, because it's going to get confusing on what Superman is what Superman, because what you see is like Diana and Superman in New 52 had a relationship, but this is the Superman that has a relationship with Lois Lane. So it can get kind of confusing, and Lex Luthor in this one is not the same Lex Luthor that you would have found in when the Superman who's married to Lois Lane, like when he dealt with Lex Luthor, he was really evil, but in this one he's like trying to help out. It's such a strange it's such a strange situation, but I thought it was okay. I don't feel like a lot happened. That's what's so crazy. I don't feel like a lot happened, so I only ended up giving it 3 out of 5 stars, but I will be continuing, and I think I need to read another volume of Superman before I can move on to anything else, so I will be doing that. All right, y'all, so that's it. That is my weekly wrap up. So I read 4 things this week. They were all really interesting, different, across several different genres, which I try to do as much as possible. As far as what I'm currently reading, I'm about an hour from finishing After We Fell, so I'm probably going to finish that in the time that I get ready for bed. And I am about still only like 150 pages into Kingdom of Souls, so hopefully I can make some progress in those 2 tonight, and then that'll be it. I think I may end up slowing down a little bit on my videos because, you know, giving birth and stuff, life-changing, not always easy. But I'm trying to keep up with my videos as much as possible, keep you guys updated as much as possible. As always, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content from me, make sure you click the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. If you're interested in following me on social media, all the links will be down below in the description box. As always, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll be back with another video soon. Bye.